So let's talk about how you found your way into the industry. Tell us about what your thoughts were. Like, how did you decide, hey, look, this is something I'm going to do, and then tell us the journey of that.
Sure. This is actually my second go at coming into the industry.
Okay.
Many years ago, probably 8 at this point, I filmed a couple of scenes with Treasure Island Media.
Okay.
And it was under a different name. It was Joe Rocco was the name then.
Okay.
And the scenes were fine. There were no bad experiences or anything like that that drove me out of the industry. It wasn't anything.
You're scarred for life. I'll never do it again.
It wasn't anything like that.
Okay.
I wasn't in a good place in my life personally.
Okay.
I was battling some different drug and addiction problems and really needed to get my life in order. Okay. So I had filmed these 2 scenes. I was slated to do more work, but kind of with the aid of some very close friends and family, pulled myself out to get myself put back together.
Okay.
And then when I came back out of the program and I got back into life, part of getting back into life was finding stability. So performing in any capacity wasn't going to be something I was doing.
Right.
It was about finding a steady job because you're supposed to do the same thing every day as part of the program. Anyone who's familiar with the steps. So I did, and since I did have other degrees other than a musical theater degree, I worked in an office setting. I was a director of product development for an education organization that did certification, review exams, very high stakes exams, and review courseware, and I was in charge of development of the courseware for about 7 years. I hated it. I hated every moment of my life at that job. I'm sure I destroyed my relationship that I was in because I was just so unhappy with the work I was doing that I couldn't be happy with anything.
Right, of course not. Your work is so much of your life.
And during this time, after getting sober, I found the gym. And I found solace in the gym. Originally it was for the sake, I'll be honest, I went to the gym because I wanted to look better.
Right.
But then it did something for me mentally, and it kind of gave me a purpose, and it was a journey, and it was another way to grow. Literally.
Literally, right.
So as I found myself being in better shape, and after I had unfortunately destroyed this relationship with a great guy that I wish nothing but the best for, and we're still friends, but I think he understood. And I was single and looking good and feeling good. I thought, wouldn't it be a kick if I went and maybe I could shoot a scene or 2 again, but this time shoot it looking better, feeling better, you know, just being in a better headspace. Right. So I can have something to look back on and be like,
hey, look, I did that.
I did it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I was able to come back and do it.
Right.
You know, I figured maybe I might get a scene or 2 because I was coming in not at 40, you know, I wasn't 30 anymore. I wasn't aware at that time of this daddy DILF movement going through the porn industry. But thank you out there for the daddy DILF movement. There's many of us who appreciate your support. Trust me, we really do. Hashtag daddy power. So, I submit to a couple of studios that I had always enjoyed watching. There were 2. One of them was Titan, and I heard back within days of submitting to Titan Men from Jason Mark, the director there. And we scheduled my first shoot, and I shot my first scene with Titan Men as Hugh Hunter on December 8th, 2014. So we're coming up on almost a year. Right. So Hugh's almost won. It was a great experience. My first scene was with one of their exclusives, Jesse Jackman, who's just unbelievably stunning and nice and talented and gifted and smart, and I can't say enough great things about him.
Right.
And it was so easy.
Okay.
And I did a second, as it should be. And I did a second scene with another of their exclusives, Eddie CT, that also went very, very smoothly, great connection. And then that was it.
Okay.
And I figured, okay, so I did the 2 scenes. They're coming out on Titan. I'm out on a label. Whenever they come out, they come out. And then I decided, well, maybe I want to do this again. So I started to apply to a few other places, and because I really didn't have any content out, I wasn't getting picked up by many people. But content did start to come out, and a few people did pick up on me, and so I was able to start getting work.
Right.
And then I got offered Men at Plate, flew me out to Spain to film 3 scenes for them in April.
Ooh, very nice. Very
and
nice.
I got to do work with Ray Dragon, who was someone who I'd always admired when he was in front of the camera, and I love him even more behind the camera because he's such a good soul and a great guy. I got to work with Kinkmen, and I had built a great relationship with the folks over at Kink. Sebastian Keys, their head director, their house folks like Jesse Coulter and Trent Ducati that they have for their house noms. I've had such good experiences there, and luckily I just kept getting booked, and I've been very lucky since then. So that's kind of how I segued in the business, segued out of the business, and then came back in as Hugh Hunter.
Right.
I will let you know that I did not choose the name Hugh Hunter. I went into filming for Titan, and I still didn't have a name. I knew I wasn't going to be the old name because I needed to separate the two.
Right.
Partially because I don't even look remotely like the person of 8 years ago, as most of us probably would look at pictures from 8 years ago and say, who
the hell is that? I have no idea who that is.
So I went in, and when I was talking to Jason, the director, I had said, I need help picking out a name. I can't think of anything. And he suggested the name Hunter, and I liked the name Hunter, but they'd already had a Hunter as an exclusive, Hunter Marks, who is amazing, truth be told. And so I said, I like it, last name though.
Okay.
We need a first name. And then, of course, my list of requirements started.
Right.
But I want it to be double consonant. It should be HH. And it should sound kind of like a 1940s movie star name. And so, and without missing a beat, Jason spat back, Hugh Hunter. And I sold because I could see it rolling in the credits in the beginning of an old 1940s movie musical from MGM.
Right.
And I'm like, that's exactly what the name should be.
So what you're saying is there's noir porn in your future.
Yes. There will be a porn musical if it kills me and everyone around me.